Hi, Andy here at the end of the week in Cannes, or coming to the end of the week. It's been an unbelievable experience once again, and it's really changed my view. The thing that I'm really noticing is how the role of marketing is changing, and changing on three fronts. Changing in terms of growth, in terms of product, and in terms of culture. And what I mean by that is that even the role of Chief Marketing Officer is being redefined now. Some people are referring to them as Chief Growth Officers. Their task is, and they are the only people in the organisation who can do this, to deliver growth for a business. What that means is that the lines between what a product is and what an advertising campaign is are blurring. And some of the Grand Prix winners here are a real example of that, where the advertising is the product and the product is the advertising. And all of that is leading to a change in culture and the need to change culture in organisations for marketing officers to really believe and instill a belief culturally in an organisation in the power of creative ideas to change a business.
The key thing really that's coming out is that data and technology with creativity are where things are going. So data, people don't need to be scared of data-driven creativity. Data gives you the insights, and then technology provides a canvas for play that you can make anything possible. So it's still about creativity, it's still about people, it's still about emotions and storytelling. But I was in a session with the Cyber Lions judges this morning, and they said that really the technology needs to be in the background. It has to be completely seamless, and really the role for agencies and brands in the future is we need to all become a lot more tech literate. We need to know our tech, we need to understand how and why people are using technology in a certain way, or how and why they're on a certain social platform. And I think that's where agencies can really help brands try to understand that future of technology and how it's going to change business and brands and the world basically. So it's been really eye-opening, incredibly inspiring, and I hope to be back next year.
I think one of the big takeouts for me is just the proliferation of VR. If you go downstairs into the basement of the Palais, you can see that Samsung has taken over half of the space, given demonstrations of VR. You see all these delegates who are simulating being on roller coasters and kayaking. It really has infused the entire week for me, because in all the talks, time and time again, people are being asked about VR. It feels like we're at a tipping point where it's just going to take off in the next 2 to 3 years. The impact for brands is going to be phenomenal, because it's going to allow unprecedented access and interaction and experience with brands. But we do have to reframe our thinking. The reason why we need to reframe it is that there are no frames with VR. So instead of a viewer looking at a screen, it's going to be a visitor going to a world, and those are going to be the world of brands. I just came from a talk by Alejandro Inarritu, the director of The Revenant and Birdman, and he was asked about it, and he likened it to the Lumiere brothers at the start of cinema, where people were running out of cinemas because they thought that a train was going to come off the screen and hit them. He said that it's going to be like that. It's that amount of revolution. We don't have the grammar or the structures or the ways of thinking yet to know how it's going to affect us.
Kevin Kelly from Wired magazine was very interesting on artificial intelligence. He spoke about the fact that we're on the brink of a new industrial revolution, and to paint the picture he went back to the first industrial revolution, where we took products and we added electricity and power, and we got fantastic new products as a result. The next meaningful revolution took place when we took products and we added computers to those products, and that brought us to where we are today. And now we're taking products and adding artificial intelligence, and that's going to bring us in many new directions. It's a very exciting time. But artificial intelligence in the future is going to be a commodity. It's going to be something that we buy by the unit. It's going to be something that Google will probably invest enormous amounts, billions, in developing. And by 2026, Kevin Kelly reckons that the majority of revenue to Google will come from artificial intelligence, much more than they earn from advertising, which is quite extraordinary to think about. And artificial intelligence will also impact on employment, we know that. But the thing that we don't talk about is what happens to those people who don't work in those sort of routine jobs anymore. Well, it'll free up their time to be a hell of a lot more creative. And that's going to be a very complementary pursuit. So artificial intelligence and human creativity working side by side will bring us to wonderful new directions.
What struck me across the week time and time again was the simplicity of the best work. The creative that stood out the most, had the most impact, had the best results, was also just so incredibly simple. Even if it was powered by new technologies or different ways of employment, you were still able to understand the idea and the creative insight really well. These were born out of really good client agency relationships and more of a partnership than a business transaction. They both trust the unknown together to create the best possible piece of work that they can.